Okay, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, everyone? I know that most of you are waiting for our online mock test today, and the most important tips and tricks related to the IELTS exam. Unfortunately, yesterday some of our students were already done with their tests, and they won't be able to join us today. But the good news is that they're all saying that the exam went very, very well, and most of the topics were familiar to them, and they didn't meet any difficulties doing their exam. Wish you all the best, and wish the best for all those who didn't take their test yet. Now let's invite our most precious guest, Professor Kris and right before we start our test online. And by the way, we're going to run this test on Zoom as well. All right, so wait for us. We will provide you with all the information which is related to the Zoom room on which we're going to meet after maximum 10 minutes from now. For now, we'll have some tips and tricks regarding the IELTS tips. All right. Hello, Kris. Hi. How are you?
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing, Hen?
Great. Okay. It's been so long since I last saw you. 3-4 days?
Yeah.
Okay. How's
Yeah.
it?
Everything's good. It's dark here. It's still early in the morning and the sun hasn't come up yet.
Oh, what's the time now there in Canada?
8 a.m.
Oh my goodness, sorry to wake you up very early.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Not at all. I'm usually up at this time anyways.
Okay,
I
great.
just
Amazing.
got out of the shower.
So let's start. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right.
Ready when you are.
Before we start our Zoom online mock tests, would you like to give any tips for our followers, Kris?
Yep.
Please.
The biggest thing that I can recommend for everyone is about your fluency. See you later. Is about your fluency. Everyone studies and learns lots of vocabulary and grammar, but the problem is that they never practice. And so they've got all of this potential all locked up in their memories, but they need some way to break the door open so it can come out. And the best way for them to do this is for training. Practice speaking longer and longer. Speak for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 minutes at a time, again and again and again, and get that fluency up. So all of that hard work that you've all been doing for years and years, you can use those tools now.
Excellent.
But if you keep silent and only study, then that's not helping you to communicate with those words.
Okay, you know what? Today while I was cooking my lunch, our lunch, the family lunch, I kept on saying, oh my God, look at the ingredients. Today's ingredients look like I'm going to, to bring out a very delicious dish. Here are the onions, and here is the garlic. And let's stir it together. Let's fry it. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then I thought about my students too. I knew at that time, Kris, that I should give this very important tip for those who don't have a partner to keep on practicing with them. Yourself could be your partner. Do you know this? It's just a matter of practice. Practice while doing any and everything. Okay, keep on speaking in English all day long, and that would be the best practice ever, even if you don't have a partner. Because some of the students, they complain because they don't find a good partner to check on their English and to give them important tips. Where are the weakness points, and they keep on moaning that they don't find anyone. Yourself could be your own support and your own partner that can provide very good support and help for yourself. So please, whenever you have a chance to speak to yourself, practice English, yourself is there 24 hours, unless you're asleep. Then you have to practice.
Absolutely.
Thing as much as possible. If you don't have a partner, be your partner. Okay? Before we start our mock exam, just very important tips that we'd like to give to our followers, which is before you take your test, please bear in your mind that, number one, as you still remember to yesterday's advice that I gave you live, please try to stick to the tense of the question. Don't go far away from the tense of the question. Number two, which is really important, try as much as possible to cover the 2 minutes for the mock exam. And for that, you have some strategies. Would you please, Kris, give us some strategies to enable our followers to cover up the 2 minutes?
Sure. If you look at the cue card suggests the structure of a paragraph, just like in the writing test. It has the question, which you paraphrase and make the topic sentence. And then it has 3 main ideas, the bullet points. And what you need to do with the bullet points is, in your 1 minute of preparation time, to plan the details and the examples that show that prove the points. And so I do bullet point 1, 1 point, bullet point 2, 1 point, bullet point 3, 1 point, and then back to bullet point 1 again, point 2, point 2, point 2, point 3, point 3, point 3. In this way, I manage to get a balance of my answer. I don't have everything all stuck at the beginning. I've got my answers spread out. But the really important thing is to make sure that you have the details and an example. Think of the example like proof. You must prove that what you are saying is true, or that it's real, or that it happened. If I simply say that I went to the supermarket yesterday, I haven't gone deep enough. I went to the supermarket yesterday, which is near my house. The name of the supermarket is called Superstore. And at Superstore, I bought a lot of things, including vegetables like tomatoes and lettuce and onions, and I bought some bread and some carrots too. And so you see that when I get down to this very lowest level with my details and examples, now I can start to push out lots of vocabulary. When I've got a great wide plan with lots of things to talk about, this means that I have lots of words that I can say, and I can show that high vocabulary level. And I don't need synonyms then. I can just speak my plan. My plan is broad, so my vocabulary must be broad as well.
For that, we need to know that for each point 1, point 2, point 3, we need to put a main idea, some supporting details, and again, some examples in order to make a very, very good presentation for our speaking before we plan for our writing, because this is the same way we plan for the writing and the speaking as well. Right? Which is one more thing, which is a variety of sentences, right? For that, we need to know, or we need to differentiate between 3 types of sentences. The first type is the simple sentence. I am a teacher. Simple sentence, subject, predicate. Complex sentences, which is the second type of sentences. In here, you need to add some compound, some conjunctions, which we call the fanboys. For example, I am a teacher and I teach IELTS as well. So here I join 2 sentences together using the word and, or one of the coordinate conjunctions, which are the fanboys. Sentence, or the type number 3, which is the complex sentences, which I usually make by adding 2 kinds of clauses, which is the dependent clause, independent clause together, and I'm doing them using the subordinate conjunctions, which are many, like if, after, unless, before, when, while, whenever, wherever, though, although, and so many others. All right? So please make sure you differentiate between these three types and use them in your speaking test. Do not keep on interrupting your listener after each short sentence with a simple sentence, stop, simple sentence, stop, simple sentence, stop. Keep on joining your sentences so that you get your level higher and higher. All right? Kris, another tip from your side.
Just to build on what you were saying, Hend, take those compound and complex sentences and put them together into the same sentence. I am Kris, who teaches English and also teaches IELTS. Now I've got a really great sentence. If I can do something like this, and I can do it regularly, it starts to push me up from a band 6 into a band 7. If I can do this often, and I can do it with which, where, while, when, who, whose, whom, and the fanboys, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so, and I can do multiple combinations of these words, now I'm pushing myself up to an 8 if I'm not making many mistakes. And so that's the key to grammar, is these complex tense combinations. Also with like perfect tense and conditionals and continuous. Here also, very important to add these together, join them into one really long sentence. If I hadn't watched that movie last night, I wouldn't be so tired this morning. And so here's, again, an example of a nice, high-scoring sentence. And so if I can do it regularly, now I'm showing that band 8 level.
What about the digress technique, Kris? To digress.
Say that again?
Digress.
To digress. Oh, yes, to digress. Yeah.
My favorite.
So,
your favorite.
Yeah. Digression is perfect. It's a little story. And again, it works, it functions at that lowest level, from going the topic to the main idea to the detail and down to the example. And so I can tell a story about something funny that happened to me at the supermarket. And so that reminds me, when I was at the supermarket, I met a friend that I haven't seen for a long time, and we talked about our lives and what's been happening since the last time we met. But that's beside the point. I should get back to the story. And so the second thing I bought at the supermarket was blah, 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 blah. So yes, it's a perfect way to introduce some idioms or some colloquialisms also, and to boost up that grammar score.
Yes, also to spend some time, Kris. I mean, for those who cannot cover these 2 minutes, which are required for task 2, a long time for them to keep on speaking in English. It seems that Kris is gone for some technical problems maybe, or his connection is a little bit weak. So let's invite him once more. Okay. Kris, where did you go? Okay. So, okay. So it seems like your connection is unstable, Kris, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Anyways,
so
we're back.
Are you ready to move now to our Zoom room?
I am.
All right, great. So, but before we move to the Zoom, unfortunately, our followers now are around 23 up to 25. All right. I would like you, please, guys, to inform everyone that we're going to, for those who are interested, to inform everyone that we're going to run a mock exam, online mock exam, and it's totally for free. There you can, I believe that most of you have the Zoom program downloaded on their PC, laptop, or mobile phones. That would be our pleasure to meet you there in maximum 3 minutes from now. Kris, what's your room number, please?
Yep, I've just posted it on the comments here. 918-112-8955. See you soon.
See you soon. Bye.